6 months on the road.
Yes, Academy. So yeah, I think
Academy in Jos.
A bit of surprise.
Put Baraji in trouble.
Baraji in trouble. Academy, got valuable 1 point.
Okay, let's start with the results. I'm going to come to you now, Toby, but let me just run through the results very quickly of the games played. March day 17. A lot of interesting results. A lot of exciting matchups. The league leaders, Rangers, were truly at home.
Yep.
Hammering Ikorodu United 4-1. It was a game in which Ikorodu United also had plenty of chances to have scored a lot of goals.
Very true.
But they were very wasteful, and that's the price you pay for being wasteful. Rangers 4-1 on the night, and they're still staying on top of the log. We'll see the log in a couple of minutes from now. Abia Warriors, very tough game against Rivers United. Rivers United in form.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, Abia Warriors. Michael Olaha. Yeah. Olaha. Okay. I hope I didn't. That's how do we call it? Michael Olaha.
Olaha, yeah.
Olaha, getting the goal. And Chisom Jekatara missing the penalty in that game. Kano Pillars, Atlant. That's the surprise of the week for me. Pillars stuttering at home once again.
Always a difficult game against Atlant. I think in the last 2 games against Atlant, they've really struggled.
They struggled.
Very, very close.
So the Eastern teams have really made it.
Ebele Obi came back into this after the 6-match suspension, and he had a superlative performance, had a lot of saves.
And Ebele Obi.
Very key into that game.
And then Plateau United, Academy 1-1.
Yep.
The 4th drawn game in a row for Plateau United, not good enough, and the coach has been told to step aside. And in Nigeria, when they say step aside, you hardly step back in. All right, but that's the story really from Jos. We'll be talking about that later on. And then there was the other results.
So you move on.
Wiki, I'm not moving on.
I'm
not moving on. Let's come back to that one. Toby says we should move on. Let's come back to that one. Thank you very much, my producer.
Okay.
4x4.
Yeah, it's normal. It's football.
It's normal.
It's football. It's football. I mean, football is football.
I know Shooting Stars have conceded 30 goals this season. 30 goals this season. The same number with Ikorodu United. 30 goals this season. Maybe they just play games without defenders.
The morale is obviously low. I think it's at its lowest ebb. And
Coach Kadri threw in the towel at the end of
these players. Sometimes you can't give in your best under such conditions.
We'll come to talk about it. Let me run through the result, but just pause a little bit on that. We'll talk about it because at the end of this game, Coach Kadri his announcement was announced.
Yeah.
I beg your pardon. His resignation was announced. All right. So we'll talk about it as we go on the show, and of course we'll talk about Plateau United as well. Aqua United 1-0 over Nasarawa United. I don't know whether this is going to be some respite for Ere Dokubo because he was giving some ultimatum. I don't know whether he's met them.
They won 2 games.
Yeah. Lobi 2-0. Antonio Potu with the penalty goal.
Yep. Also Ajia.
And Ajia, of course, with the second goal, 2-0 over Giwa. Giwa said, officials of Giwa said the game was good, officiating was perfect, but they lost concentration. That was why they considered those goals, and they should have had a better result. Warri Wolves against Sunshine Stars. One of the best games I've seen in a long time. End-to-end stuff, a lot of movement, a lot of passing, a lot of pace. The quality was good. Sunshine, wow, they have an amazing front line. But they wasted a lot of chances, and they were punished by Warri Wolves in the second half. The new coach, the Dutch coach of Warri Wolves, Adrian, what was this?
Yeah.
Adrian?
Yeah, Adrian, yeah.
Made changes at halftime, and those 2 guys that came in, talking about Kevin Etoya and Sikiru Alimi came in and just finished Warri Sunshine.
Yeah, really, Sikiru Alimi last season scored about 6 goals for them. He has been injured for a while, and then he came on into this game with a lot of balance, and because I saw his position, it was great. The goal he scored capitalized on a defensive flop, and then the second goal was good position, and the header was massive, and then his header was flawless. And you will really give it to the coach. The sub was spot on. Those 2 players came on and they
finished them off in the first half.
Sunshine had their own chances. Also, they failed to convert, and then they lost concentration at the back. And Wolves, punished them for that one. And I think it's one of those victories that makes the coach smile. especially when you're just coming back from Ibadan, where you get maximum 3 points. So that's 6 points for you in 2 games.
Result.
Massive one for them.
Well, so yeah, I think there's an aspect of our game that we really need to look at critically.
Goal scoring.
Yes, sometime in Brazil, they had defensive issues. They believed that
they were scoring. They
can outscore any team. But they went back and, they are producing some of the best defenders in the world. I read about a team in Europe. I think in Dutch, they employed Ruud van Nistelrooy just as, to train the strikers.
Yes.
To score goals.
We watched on Wednesday, Eyimba MFM. Look at how wasteful the two teams were. Yeah. And we can't carry such a trait to the national teams. We need to look at it critically. That
is where the problem starts
coaches.
From. In the national team, we have problem with goal scoring.
Yeah.
This is where it starts from.
Yeah.
The league.
From the basic,
From the basic.
The league is the basic.
Yeah, but I mean, we have produced some amazing strikers. But they usually, most times, leave the shores of Nigeria, go abroad, coaches will polish them, and then they become very prolific.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of arguments about NPFL strikers. They complain in terms of final pass. I don't think we have enough creative midfielder.
Is it that we don't have creative midfielders only, or we are defense minded?
No, it is part of it. Yes, so some strikers have admitted that the league is very, very physical in terms of play. Defenders like Udoje are always difficult to get past through. We've got difficult defenders also, but they are not. We don't have much creative midfielders in the NPFL. We've got great strikers. I think Gata can get goals, Ufo can get goals. Couple of them can get goals. But
Obaje, for example, over the weekend, only scored 3 goals.
But what happened to him on the road?
That is the 5th hat-trick this season. So we've had 4 other players who have scored hat-tricks. It shows that these guys have the potentials. Obaje is on 11 goals. Yeah. We've only played 17 games. And out of 17 games, he has scored 11 goals. That's a very good goal return, goal ratio. Yeah. Ibrahim Ishmael Agaita of Tornadoes has 9 goals.
Poor day for him this morning.
Yeah.
I've just won on target 90 minutes.
Yeah, only one on target. Okiki Afolabi had a lot of chances to score against Warri Wolves. I mean, it wasn't very prolific on the day. Mustafa Ibrahim of Academy on 8 goals. Chisom Ichukbulam of Rangers on 8 goals. Tony Okpotu, Lobby Stars on 8 goals. Well, you could say penalties. Ichukbulam has scored a lot of free kicks as well.
I'm just trying to.
But penalties are part of the game.
It's part of it.
If you remove the penalties that Cristiano Ronaldo scored from his goal tally,
you can even ask Juma Wasil such. Juma has converted that penalty against Plateau. We'll be talking about.
We'll be talking about it. But Onye is a big issue. This is what the log looks like. Rangers are still on top. 31 points. Look at Abia Warriors, an outstanding game on 30. Wiki Tourists are back in the top 4 with 28. The same with Pillars, Lobby, and Rivers United. Then you have Aqua United, MFM, FC Fanyuba, Warri Wolves, Eyimba, Heartland, Sunshine, Plateau United, Nasarawa United, Tornadoes of Mina, El Kanemi Warriors, and look away.
Let's jump to Giwa.
Look away. You see Shooting Stars there. Back in the bottom 4. Giwa, I don't know. 14 points. They're really sinking deep. And then, of course, Ikorodu United also there. Shooting Stars, wow, I don't know. That's an issue that we talked about. Onye Kadiri isn't there. They have to get a coach quickly. When you flirt with relegation at this stage of the season, sometimes you find it difficult to get out. And this managerial casualties, Zakari Baraje, Kadiri Kana are some of the most experienced coaches we have in the league, who you think would know how to navigate their way, but they're right there. I mean, the relegation dogfight.
Well, for Zakari Baraje, Tony, you recall that I think about 2-3 months ago, he complained that he needed reinforcement, that the team lacked quality. He's an outspoken man, very vocal. That has always pitched him against the management of clubs he handled in the past.